Power Analytics created the Paladin Whitespace Management, or WSM toolset to address practical problems faced every day by data center facilities and IT staff. Its focus is on real day-to-day operations, not theories on how data centers should be operated. The main benefits of WSM are simplicity for ease of use and time savings, panel schedule edits, visualization of rack-level power and asset information, and tracking of data hall hotspots can be configured and used in minutes instead of the hours typical of other offerings. The learning curve is very low. WSM is accurate. It provides an automated calculation of true power and energy to ensure the accuracy of capacity and costing decisions. The third benefit is interoperability with systems you already use. Data from other systems can be easily imported from or exported to the Whitespace Management or WSM tools. The benefits of WSM are provided by 3 tools or widgets. The first is the RPP Manager, which greatly simplifies panel schedule editing and maintenance. The second is the Rack Manager, which allows both facilities and IT staff to view the current state of assets in a rack, as well as rack and asset level capacity, power, and status information. The third widget is the heat map overlay, which permits easy identification of hotspots. In today's video, I will demonstrate panel schedule edits in the RPP Manager. The RPP Manager simplifies the configuration of any device with panel schedules, and provided that there is monitoring of branch circuit currents, permits the efficient use of the available power on RPPs by providing information about real-time power usage and capacity. It provides an extraordinarily intuitive visual representation of the real-world panel. All of the information you'd expect is present. The available slots, as you'd see in a real panel. A visual representation of the breaker showing its open, closed, or tripped states. A customizable name that can be used to show the rack, the circuit powers, the department or customer assignment, really anything you'd like. The currents per phase, the rating of the breaker, the true power, and a load status indicator based on limits you set yourself. It's worth pointing out that the RPP Manager automatically calculates the true kW for each circuit breaker, whether the breaker in question is 1, 2, or 3 pole. You no longer have to put up with single pole power data or adjust back-end formulas each time the panel schedule changes. Having looked at the data available, let's drop into the edit mode now to see how easy it is to configure and adjust a panel. For today's demonstration, I'm going to modify one breaker, remove another, and then add a third to demonstrate how easy it is to modify the panels. First, I enter the properties for the panel. For breaker 10, which is defined as a 3-pole breaker, I will modify it to be a 2-pole breaker. This is as simple as removing one of the slot assignments. I will also change the rating from 120 amps to 100 amps. This is important because every breaker has a load status on a percentage basis of the current rating. In this case, I have configured the higher cautionary value to be 80% of the breaker rating with a status color of yellow, and the high value to be 90% of the breaker rating with a high color of red. In addition to modifying this breaker, I will remove breaker 12 in its entirety. To do this, I remove the slot assignments and also remove that breaker from its zone. Breakers can be arbitrarily assigned to any one of 5 zones, color-coded to indicate their purpose. Finally, I will go ahead and add breaker 14, and I will do so in slots 38, 40, and 42, and I will also add that breaker to zone 1. At this point, I've done everything that I need to modify the panel for those 3 edits. Breaker 10 is now a 2-pole breaker, and the power calculation for this breaker will automatically be correct for a 2-pole. I have removed breaker 12 and added breaker 14. All that remains is for me to hit save and return to the live view, and our panel modifications are complete. I have done in under 4 minutes what it normally takes hours to do. One other tremendously beneficial characteristic of the RPP Manager is the capability to export and import Excel spreadsheets. To do so, you go to the bottom of any tab in the RPP Manager, and to export, you hit export. This prepares a spreadsheet with all of the configuration information for that panel as it is currently configured. I will say download the spreadsheet and let it open in Excel. The file created in the course of this export again has all of the configuration information. For example, breaker 1 is configured to be a 3-pole breaker in slots 1, 3, and 5 with its name, current rating, the zone in which it has been placed, and the current and breaker status data points. It is easy to take an Excel export from one configured panel and change it to upload and create another panel. For example, if RPP AX84 is going to be used to create RPP AX085, all I have to do to modify the data assignments is this. And I have correctly modified this to create a new panel based on RPP AX085. By the same token, if I would like to import an Excel spreadsheet, I can do so by selecting a previous export, selecting open, and hitting import. This spreadsheet was created before we made the modifications to the panel, so we'll restore the prior settings. In today's video, I have demonstrated the benefits of the RPP Manager, both from a perspective of simplifying day-to-day configuration and also replicating configuration data across panels. In future videos, we will review the Rack Manager and the Heat Manager, which have similar capabilities in terms of configuration